So you're sitting at home during the quarantine. I'm sure you're bored. I'm sure you're playing video games maybe, or I don't know, maybe you're watching stuff on TV. I'm sure you've watched Tiger King. Carol Baskin did it. I'm sure you've watched, I don't know, reruns of old TV shows. I know my wife and I are rewatching Cheers, you know, because everybody knows your name. Heck, you probably haven't watched the new Trolls movie. But you know what you should be watching? You know what you should add to your watch list? Mortal Kombat. That's right, there is a brand new animated movie, Mortal Kombat Legends: Scorpion's Revenge. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Mashup. I'm Justin McGill, and this is my review of Mortal Kombat Legends: Scorpion's Revenge. As you can tell, I have quite a few things to talk about. The stuff highlighted in green is going to be the stuff that I would deem good. The stuff in red is the stuff I would say is my gripes and maybe not so good. And then in the black towards the end, that's just more of my final thoughts on the movie. So let's dive right in. So I'm a big fan of Warner Brothers Animation. I love their cartoons. I mean, they made cartoons that I grew up with as a kid, Animaniacs and Pinky and the Brain. You have, Looney Tunes. You also have the DC cartoons like Batman, Superman, Justice League, Batman Beyond, Young Justice. You have all these great cartoons. But what's also great about them is they make a lot of the DC animated movies. That's kind of what I would say they're kind of known for now. This might be a mini spoiler, but I did post on my Twitter. It's a GIF that someone made about it already, so it's kind of already out there. But I did enjoy the intro to the movie. It reminded me a lot of the 1989 version of Batman, where you have the Warner Brothers logo, and you have Bugs Bunny and Daffy, I believe, kind of arguing to each other, and then it kind of cuts over to Batman.
Hold it right there. Let's see if you're really ready to watch this movie. Okay, popcorn? Check. Soft drink? Check. Warner Brothers ball cap? Aha! You can't watch a Warner Brothers movie without a Warner Brothers ball cap. Listen, Doc, what if they ordered a Warner Brothers ball cap so they had it next time? Well, here's all you have to do, folks. Just send for this. A new Warner Brothers catalog. Use it to order your Warner Brothers ball cap. And while you're at it, you can order stuff like t-shirts, posters, movie books, ties. That's neckties. It's all in the catalog, which you can get now by dialing this 900 number. So when you get a chance, call...
No, they have to call now. They can't watch the movie until they order their new catalog.
You're despicable. Don't forget to call, folks.
It's kind of like the same concept. So you have the Warner Brothers logo, and you have Daffy Duck, and then the Warner Brothers logo opens up, and Scorpion kind of yanks him, and they're like, "Get over here." So it's kind of a nod to that. Continuing with the animation, let's talk about the graphics and special effects. And one of the things I love about Warner Brothers animated movies is the animation itself. I feel like it's really high quality. The only thing I can compare this to say that it's kind of come leap and bounds is there was a Mortal Kombat cartoon that did come out in the 90s. Between the colors and the general animations, it was just really nice to look at, and I think they did a really good job overall. As far as special effects goes, I think they did a really good job of just adding special touches that kind of enhance the characters. Like, for instance, with Raiden, he's known for his, being the Thunder God, so he, of course, has, like, lightning. So there were times where he was, I guess getting stern, and he would, have lightning coming out of his eyes, and they use special effects to, I guess, more emphasize that than strictly just regular cartoon animation. I also like that they use the technology to enhance the fight scenes. There's a couple fight scenes that you're going to see where they kind of mimic the video game a little bit, and so it kind of strays to more 3D animation versus just strictly it's a flat 2D. So I thought those were both great ways that they used modern technologies to enhance the cartoon animation. And that leads me to gore. So if you are not familiar with Mortal Kombat, it is gory, bloody. That's just Mortal Kombat for you. Mortal Kombat games are pretty known to be gory and bloody, and as time has gone on, they've just gotten more creative in the ways that they kill their characters. So gore and blood is nothing new to the franchise, and if you're new to Mortal Kombat and you're, not good with blood, you get queasy, I guess, this may not be the movie for you. But if you're an MK fan, which more likely a lot of people that watch the movies are MK fans, then this is going to be right up your alley, and I think they even go a little bit over the top with it, which doesn't take away from the movie. I think it actually enhances it. There's a couple scenes you'll see, like with Scorpion, for instance, when he's killing some of the Lin Kuei. He kind of goes over the top a little bit. It's just true Mortal Kombat fashion, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. They also incorporated stuff from the video games, such as the X-ray brutality moves. You see it kind of in the trailer, at least the Red Band trailer. You see like a skull, you know, like if they're hitting ribs, stuff like that. I thought that was really cool that they do a lot of that in the movie. It's just like it is in the video game, so it kind of makes it seem like you're always just watching like a fight scene / cut scene. You know, it's kind of what the games are known for. So there are some differences from this cartoon version of the movie to the live action movie. Not talking about Mortal Kombat Annihilation, because no one wants to talk about that movie, but just the general first live action movie. And they're not so much spoilers, because I'm trying not to spoil the movie for you. I really want you all to go out and watch it and enjoy it like I did. But just some things that I noticed that you'll probably notice yourself when you see them. So the first thing was Rome representation. I thought that this movie did a better job than the actual live action movie of telling you who is representing whom as far as realms go. So you have Earth Realm, Outworld, and the Nether Realm. And so this movie I feel like does a really good job of letting you know that certain characters go with certain realms, and that's why they're fighting in the tournament. I also like that they changed the matchups as far as who's fighting who. I won't go into specifics, of course, of who's fighting who, but in the cartoon you'll see that I think these are better matchups than what we kind of saw in the movie. Given some of the characters' abilities, you can kind of see that some of the matches before just didn't seem like they'd be realistic. I know the live action movie went there, but I think these matchups are a little bit better suited for the characters. One thing I did think was interesting that they kind of touched on in the live action movie, but didn't really go there. Obviously, you know that there are characters that are not human-like. There are other species of characters. You have like Goro and Mataro, Shiva, Reptile. There's quite a few characters out there that are not human. So the cartoon does, I think, a better job, especially when they arrive on Shang Tsung's island. They do a better job of showing you the plethora of species that the other realms have. That does a better job of introducing the characters that we're more familiar with into the movie. I do like that the cartoon gave some nods to the actual live action movie in the video games. You know, I'm gonna spoil some stuff for you guys, some stuff, but it's just stuff that you're gonna notice, it's little Easter eggs. So there is a part where Johnny Cage is walking up this long stairway, just like he does in the live action movie, carrying his luggage, and he's starting to walk, and you don't know that he's walking up a stair. Slowly he's gonna zoom out, and then you have this big, massive staircase going up to these long towers, just like it is in the movie. So it's kind of a cool nod to that. There's also characters that you're going to notice that are from the video games that are going to be in the movie. I won't spoil that for you, but just be on the lookout for them, and when you see them, you'll know exactly who they are. I do want to highlight some characters that I actually enjoyed from the movie. I liked Raiden. I thought he did a better job in this cartoon movie versus like the live action movies of being a better mentor, giving encouragement, being a good defender of Earth. I think he did a better job of that. Another one that I thoroughly enjoy that I know that a lot of people will enjoy is Johnny Cage. He's voiced by Joel McHale, so of course, he's going to have all the best lines. I mean, to be honest, I know it's Scorpion's Revenge, but I feel like it's really the Johnny Cage show, to be honest. He has so many good one-liners, he's really funny, and he just makes the movie more enjoyable. There's some great themes from the movie that you're probably going to notice. So the whole point of the Scorpion's Revenge is you have this certain clan that clashes with another clan, kind of like Crips and Bloods and all that kind of stuff. But you have Scorpion's clan clashing with Sub-Zero's clan. Spoiler alert if you didn't already know that. But don't worry, the movie doesn't do a very good job of explaining it anyway, so it's okay. So the whole point is Scorpion's family gets murdered, especially his son. And as the movie kind of points out to you, and as you'll see, there's a good, strong establishment of a father-son bond, or Scorpion and a family and how much he cares for them. So it's kind of nice to see that, especially when the scenes where Scorpion is with his son. It's very believable. You're instantly attached, and you're like, when his son dies, when I watch that scene, and it's in the trailer, that's the whole point of the whole movie, so I'm not spoiling anything. But when, Sub-Zero kills his son, I'm just like, because I have a kid myself, and it was brutal, and oh my gosh, it just, it tugged at my heartstrings a little bit, so I felt his pain, and you just kind of you get with him, and you get into, Scorpion, go kick some butt. There's another thing that you're going to find in the movie, it's about making all the right choices. I know that may be kind of cliche, but Raiden's a strong, supporter of that. So is Liu Kang. You don't always have to go for this choice. You have an alternate choice that may have a better outcome for yourself. So I like that the movie went to that point and just kind of kept driving it home. Because if you haven't learned, revenge is not always the answer. There's another thing that you'll notice that's pretty much about being Scorpion. I mean, basically this is a story within a story. So you have the Mortal Kombat tournament, but you also have kind of a Scorpion origin story, and you get to learn why Scorpion is Scorpion. So I really like that. I think they did a really good job in the very beginning of establishing, kind of why he chose that name, why he chose that character, that persona, and just the meaning behind it. It kind of goes back to the father-son bond. So when you see that scene, and you'll know what I'm talking about, it just kind of like, wow, that was really good that was a really good way of using imagery and just to kind of show you that, hey, Scorpion can be, like, he's awesome. Like, he can be an awesome character. He's already awesome, but when it comes to this movie, it's like, yeah, go Scorpion. Go get that revenge. Alright, so let's move on to the stuff that I didn't really like. Let's start off with the storytelling. So, if you are new to Mortal Kombat, you're going to have maybe like a semi-hard time trying to follow this movie. I think this movie was purely made for Mortal Kombat fans in general. You don't get very much character backstory at all. The movie just kind of starts off and they start, you start with Scorpion and they start throwing characters at you. And it's just like, oh, everybody just kind of appears. That's pretty much how it happens. And I'm just kind of like, I think they could do a little better job of trying to explain how the characters, getting involved in the Mortal Kombat tournament to begin with. It just does a little bit lazy job of doing that. I want to move on to some of the heroes. I mentioned in the beginning of the ones I actually liked, Raiden and Johnny Cage. That list was obviously small. So obviously that means I didn't like some other heroes. So I didn't like Liu Kang, I didn't like Kitana, Sonya Blade, Jax. Liu Kang just seems kind of, while he still has that element of innocence and like being the hero, he's kind of a wimp. I'm not gonna lie. Like there's a couple fight scenes that are really cool, but a lot of times he's always looking to Raiden for guidance. At least that's what I got from it. Y'all might differ if there's someone that's already seen the movie, but I just don't, he just doesn't seem as strong. In the live action movie, Liu Kang doesn't really need anybody. I mean, he also has a purpose. His brother died, gets killed. So in this movie, he just is kind of there. And I just didn't really get attached to him at all. When it comes to Sonya Blade and Jax, I mean, the only cool part about Sonya Blade was her interactions with Johnny Cage. He kept trying to get her goat and she would always react. And that was probably the best part about her. Everything else is kind of meh. It's the same tired Kano storyline. Same thing with Jax. We do get a little bit more origin story about Jax. But other than that, they're just kind of meh. And then as far as Kitana goes, yeah. She just kind of comes and goes, and that's about it. So I hope all you Kitana fans are just, don't get too disappointed. And then I'll continue to talk about the villains. So the villains of the story are Shang Tsung and Quan Chi. Quan Chi, for the most part, is true to form, I think. He's obviously deceptive and is a sorcerer. Same thing as Shang Tsung. I just didn't really care for them. I just don't, Quan Chi, he has all this power, but yet he just kind of is an easy foe to take down. And then Shang Tsung, he just, I don't know, after watching the live action version of him, he just had that presence about him. This one is just kind of, he's just not very convincing, and he acts like he has a lot of power, more like he just has control over people that do his bidding, and that's pretty much about it. He doesn't really do a whole lot. So, as I said before, Raiden and Johnny Cage, and you'll notice when you see it, those are my top two picks that I enjoyed about the whole movie as far as characters go. All these other people, They didn't do a whole lot for me. Let me know in the comments below what you think about those characters, and let me know what your favorite character was if you see the movie. I'm sure we'll have differences, but hey, we can talk about it. Alright, and then down to the important stuff. Scorpion, the anti-hero. Now, with a lot of villains being, or what I'd say traditional villains being turned into anti-heroes, so we have like Venom, and then we have Black Adam coming up, and now Scorpion. So overall, Scorpion does play a really good anti-hero. He has a good purpose throughout the movie of what he wants to do and why he wants to do it. I think that when he interacts with the heroes, he kind of changes his ways just a little bit, but it's always for the better. You don't really know, is he going to help them? Is he going to be against them? That kind of anti-hero, persona. So overall, Scorpion does play the anti-hero role really, really well. I don't know if they're going to continue with that. Obviously in the video games, that's not the case. So I know in the live action version, they don't really go that route. But I would like to see that continued, if not in the cartoon movies, maybe like in a comic book form or some type of supplemental story, because I think that could really work for him. It gives him more purpose, and it kind of gives him a continued storyline that he probably hasn't ever had before. What also kind of drives that point home is in the beginning of the movie, it kind of goes back to my theme topic. The reason why he's Scorpion and how he gets that name just kind of gives more credence to the anti-hero persona and just makes Scorpion just an awesome character. And I put this in there, kind of semi-spoiler, but the movie is set up for a sequel, and it's kind of left on a cliffhanger, which is good, because I really didn't want this movie to just be a one and done. Even if the live-action movie that comes out in January 2021 is a flop, I think they have something really good going on with this cartoon adaptation of the movie, and I think that they should continue it. I know Mortal Kombat 11, the video game, came out, it's been out for a while, so we're finally getting something new with Mortal Kombat that I think a lot of people can get on board with, and so I really hope that they continue it. From what I've seen, they've laid out the groundwork for a continued storyline, new characters. I think that they'll see what people liked and did not like from the first one and hopefully change that in the next one. Obviously, there's going to be a sequel, and I am all for it and I'm excited for it. So overall, do I recommend Mortal Kombat Legends Scorpion's Revenge? Absolutely. As I said in my tweet, if you're a Mortal Kombat fan, you should already be watching this. If you're not a Mortal Kombat fan and you don't have anything else to watch over the quarantine, what are you doing? Just go ahead and watch it. I will say, if you're not into Mortal Kombat, I would do a little bit of research beforehand. That way, when you do watch it, you're more familiar with what's going on. But other than that, I highly recommend this movie, and I thoroughly enjoyed watching it. Let me know in the comments below what you think about Mortal Kombat Legends Scorpion's Revenge. If you've seen it, what'd you think about it? If you haven't seen it, why not? Let me know below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button, notification bell, and I'll see you next time on The Mashup.